Okay, a reminder on how to start your project. So from your sketches, you should be choosing one of them to actually make. And I should have already talked to you in class about which one I think would be most effective, and kind of helped you walk through troubleshooting and actually making them. I'm gonna go with these ones for this little demo video. So how to start. I either you'll be turning in a photo of this, so we'll have a record of it, in which case you can use this as your template. So cut this out and glue it to your metal. You can also, if you don't want to cut those up, use a piece of tracing paper to trace your separate pieces. That kind of helps when you have pieces that overlap, like this one, because I do need to include that tip where my two pieces are going to overlap. So I trace them onto tracing paper, and I can go ahead and attach them to my metal now. Reminder that if you guys are doing straight things with straight sides, you should be using a ruler. We do have a lot actually in the studio in the far cabinet if you need to borrow one. And if you're doing something that is a little bit more like these lungs, I'm not a great drawer, which is totally fine, but I printed off an image that I liked. I ended up making it smaller for this, but I just made this one smaller and then used it as a template to saw around so that it would look exactly how I want it to look. I also couldn't draw a circle, so I just printed off a circle to make this circle. Even though I cut into the edges, it is a perfect circle. So just a reminder, if you cannot draw it, print it off. You can glue this directly to your metal and saw around the exterior shape. Glue that on. I am going to glue my shapes on. You will be getting two pieces of metal that are both 3 inches. But a reminder, if there are any scraps you can find, like this one is part of that little spiral guy. I can use scraps of metal if I find one that seem to work well. So I'm gonna glue this on right there. I do wanna glue it as close to the edge as I possibly can. I don't wanna put it directly in the metal because that is just a waste. So I'm gonna also it is less sawing. I'm gonna use my glue stick here. To glue this to my metal. Which way did I want to go? This way? I want to put my point right on the edge. Same for this side, scoot it right up. And that will save you a little time sawing if you put it closer to the edge instead of directly in the middle. I don't need to cut my paper out right on the edge. It's actually easier if you leave excess paper. It just helps it stick to the metal, so when you saw, it's not like flopping around a lot. And then when I am starting, if your pieces have any holes, negative spaces, so this whole section right here is going to be cut out, that little triangle right there is going to be cut out, I want to go ahead and drill a hole to cut that out, drill a hole to cut that out, and cut those interior shapes out before I cut out the outside. It's much easier and much more stable if you do your interior shapes first, especially like this one. If I tried to cut this little triangle out after I have already cut the shape out, it's really tiny and it's going to be really hard to hold on to. So if I drill this first, it's going to make it much easier. Okay, so I have my holes drilled. I'm ready to cut out this interior shape and that interior shape. After I do that, I can go ahead, actually probably for this design, after I cut this out, I will also cut these little detail marks in and then continue with cutting the whole exterior shape out. So I can help you decide like the order of events, but generally it's easiest if you do holes first, line work second, and then cut out the outside perimeter.